All right, let's just jump right in with the big one. What are you meant to do with your life? I mean, that's a huge question, right? If you've ever felt kind of lost just trying to figure that out, well, this explainer is definitely for you. Today, we're going to dig into this really powerful framework for finding that purpose.
You know that feeling? Staring at the ceiling at like 2 a.m. and that one question just pops into your head? What is my purpose? Yeah. If that's you, you are so not alone. It's this universal journey we're all on, and let's be real, it can feel completely overwhelming sometimes.
So this feeling is really at the center of a story about a young man named Hiroto. Picture this. All his friends, they've got it figured out. They're like, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be an engineer. And meanwhile, Hiroto, he's just kind of adrift, pulled in a million different directions with absolutely no clear path forward. Sound familiar? I think for a lot of us it does.
But you know what? Feeling lost like that is often the first step to actually finding your way. And for Hiroto, this huge shift started with some really simple but totally profound advice he got from his grandfather.
And I love this quote because it just completely flips the script, doesn't it? Your purpose, it's not some logic puzzle you can just think your way through. No, it's something you discover, and you find it right where your heart, your skills, and the world all come together.
So what Hiroto's grandfather was actually talking about, it's this classic Japanese philosophy called Ikigai. And it's this amazing framework that has literally helped people for generations find real clarity and meaning.
So what is Ikigai? Well, at its core, it's basically your reason for being. It's that thing that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning just full of energy and meaning. It's way, way more than just a job. It's this deep, personal sense of fulfillment.
Okay, so that sounds great, right? But how do you actually find it? Well, that's what's so cool about Ikigai. It's super accessible. The whole philosophy really just boils down to answering 4 key questions about yourself.
Think of these as the 4 pillars. First up, what do you absolutely love doing? Second, what are you actually good at? Third, what does the world out there need from you? And fourth, and this is a practical one, what can you be rewarded for? Something that can actually support you.
Now, just answering these questions is a great start, but the real magic, that happens when we start to look at where they overlap. That's where we start to uncover the building blocks of a truly fulfilling life.
Okay, let's break this down. Take a look at this first overlap. When you combine what you love with what you're good at, boom, that's your passion. It's that sweet spot, right? Where you feel totally energized and you know what you're doing. It's the simple joy of excelling at something you love.
All right, next up. What happens when what you love connects with what the world needs? Well, that's where you find your mission. This is huge. It adds this powerful feeling of contribution, of meaning, to your passions. It feels great, for sure. But if you don't have the skills to back it up, it can be tough to really make an impact. Okay, then we have vocation. This happens where what the world needs lines up with what you can get rewarded for. You see this all the time in service careers, right? Like teachers or nurses. They're filling a huge need, and they're making a living. So you've got purpose, you've got security, but you might not actually love the day-to-day work.
And last but not least, profession. This is kind of the classic definition of a career, right? It's where what you're good at meets what you can get paid for. It's practical, it's necessary, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. If there's no connection to what you love or what the world needs, it can end up feeling, comfortable, but kind of empty.
So, look right there in the middle. That's the sweet spot. That's the goal. That's the place where your passion, your mission, your vocation, and your profession all overlap. When you're doing something you love, that you're good at, that the world needs, and that you can be rewarded for, that, my friends, is your Ikigai. That's your purpose.
And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. It's a real practical tool. When Hiroto, the guy from our story, actually did this exercise, he said it was the first time he didn't feel lost anymore. So let's talk about how you can use this exact same tool for yourself.
The process is actually super simple. Seriously, just take a little time for yourself, grab a piece of paper, and draw 4 big overlapping circles. Then label them with those 4 questions. What I love, what I'm good at, what the world needs, and what I can be rewarded for. After that, just start writing. Don't overthink it, be totally honest, and just see what themes start to pop up in that sweet spot in the middle, where they all connect.
Just like Hiroto's grandfather said, the answer is probably already inside you. It's just waiting for you to see it clearly. So the only real question left is, What are you going to discover when you start